Okay, we are live. We're so excited. We are at one of our very much looked forward to last Tuesday webinars, and this is where we get to announce the winners of the Distinguished Style Awards. We've been doing these for a couple of years, and what makes it not only fun for the people who've entered and getting to see some amazing before and afters, but we're going to take you behind the scenes. Now, let me just tell you, I hope everybody that has won is on the call tonight, because they are not prepared probably for some of the behind the scenes that we may ask them, but they're going to tell us about their projects if they're here. And if they're not, we usually record like a one-on-one with them later, and we put it on some of the social media platforms. To be very clear how this happens, we have entries. They come in with in the subject line what they're entering in, what category. And you'll see as we go through, we have what you'd expect us to have: some redesign, decorating, color, vacant staging, vacant occupied, and color transformations. And what we love about it is and we also have rising star. And this is a really cool category, in my opinion, because this is somebody who's been in business less than 2 years, and they're kind of stand out. And you always look forward to what that rising star is going to do in the future. And we also have star teams, because a lot of you do work together, and you both deserve credit, or however many stagers were involved, or decorators. So that being said, you kind of know how it works. We do not know who the entries are, and a panel looks at all of them and decides. And it's so interesting, how we get down to a lot of it. Just even the rules. We've got some gorgeous furniture sometimes, but we might have to break a rule. And if there's a reason we always say, if you break a rule, you have to have a reason. So I am going to kick us off. And with me tonight, I have Dee Stevens. Hey, Dee. Dee is one of our trainers out in Jersey. So Dee, say hello to everybody. Tell them what you've been up to.
I have been up to real cold weather. It's supposed to be like starting to warm up here in the Northeast, and we've had nothing but 20s and 30-degree weather for probably the past 4 or 5 days.
Oh my God.
So trying to stay warm, right? Basically.
Well, I've been in Arizona, and then I'm in Denver right now. We've had gorgeous weather, and then it switched to, what we think winter should be. Okay, I am going to show my screen, and I hope this all works out. Okay, and actually, close your eyes just a minute, everybody. Oh, wait, did you see my screen or not?
Nope.
Okay, let's do that. Sorry, we've had a little technical difficulty. You would think we would be experts at all of this. Okay, we are recording. I am now sharing my screen. And sharing, and now I am going live with a PowerPoint, and it is not. Okay. Okay, now can everybody see me?
I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys, welcome to the 2022 National Award winners. This is our big reveal. So we're going to start off tonight, since I've kind of already described how it works, how we pick, how you enter. And if you did not enter this year, I can guarantee you did not win. You do have to enter to have a chance at winning. And we do have amazing spaces. So today we're going to start off with one of our interior redesign and decorating rooms. This is a before space. And I don't know if you've noticed, but every time we take a before space, I feel like the lighting sinks. It just usually follows along with how far we might have to go with that space. So here's the before space. We're going to look at the befores and after, and then the winner will tell us a little bit about it. Okay. And here is the after. Is that
Wow,
incredible?
very incredible.
And if you guys have had any of our color classes, decorating classes, I mean, even our staging class, we talk about, repeating those colors and having a great color story. It has to be functional for the client because in decorating and staging, it's all about them. But I love this space. I love the use of color. I love, how Carol has a thing about clocks sometimes and driftwood. I love wishbones. I just, just those are some of those simple things that you can add. So, excuse me, here is the before and after side by side. Nothing like a treadmill to just kick it off there.
Yeah.
And it is chic ensemble interior, Stephanie. Stephanie is in Nashville, and Stephanie is on tonight.
Oh,
I am pretty
great.
sure. So I am going to open her mic, and I think I saw her, Stephanie. There you are. Stephanie, you are coming on stage and tell us about your space. Oh, there she is. Listen, I had all these choices of these great photos to put in here of Stephanie. I know that she's looking good. Let's see where, okay, she is, okay, hold 1 second. We may have already, I saw her in here and I opened up her mic. Okay, we're gonna give her a minute if she needs to pop back in. I think she may have gotten kicked out. Okay, so I will tell you what I know about this because I read the entry. And Dee, I'll let you look on the side and see if, oh, there she is again.
Yeah, she's driving.
Oh, is that what she's doing? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you won't be able, so Stephanie, you can talk though. Let's just unmute you. You just unmute and I think you can do that. I don't know if she can. We'll see. Okay, so I'll just start talking and then if Stephanie gets to unmute, then she can. If not, maybe she'll get to where she's going before this ends. So Stephanie's been in business 9 years and she trained with Carol Bass and took the color class from me. And Stephanie, you did a good job. Look at you using all those color rules. And that harmony of that space was incredible. So Stephanie kept the client sectional sofa, and that was her launch, her inspiration for that space. But she impacted with color, art, pillows, her rug, the lighting, the window treatments, and the marble tables, just a few little things. So she spent a total of $6,500 on this space. But notice these are also those little details that set, in this case, Stephanie apart. She had the television professionally mounted, which got to hide all those wires. I mean, I would love to see a show of hands, how many times we've done a space and we want to move the TV and the homeowner says, but the outlet and all the wires are already over here. We're like, no, you can move the television. So I'm going to go back one more time and let you see the before and afters of Stephanie's space. So she added those drapes, color, and I can see that there's a little conversational area over there.
I think Stephanie's trying to come in.
Oh, Stephanie, you are just in time. Did you pull over?
No, I was pulling into my driveway.
Okay, well, so tell everybody, I'm going to keep the before and after up so everybody can see them. I'll kind of toggle back and forth to some of them. Tell us about this space.
Oh, okay. So I had been working with these people. I actually did their staging when they sold their original house and ended up, they called me back in to do this space and their dining room. So I'm sorry, I have to catch my breath. First of all, I'm completely caught off guard and I was not prepared. And I really appreciate it. I was like, wait, I had the phone on my other passenger seat and I looked, I was like, wait, that's mine.
Well, as I said, everybody, um, and again, we will do little individual ones too, but it lets you kind of know how I love what Stephanie just said. She already had a connection with these clients. And so many times, if we have these multiple revenue streams, they like what redesign you did in their little kids' room. And then you are redoing another space. And it just kind of keeps that flow, that income coming. And you've worked really hard to maintain and establish that great relationship. So
It
uh,
does.
so Stephanie, did you have any trouble convincing them to get rid of the treadmill?
At the treadmill was a challenge. And also too, the husband had bought this kind of credenza thing as well. And it just didn't go. And so I said, well, what if we sell that? And so they ended up getting on board with selling it. And then so I had the idea to make, because the wife works from home, to make this kind of custom shelf that would hide the gaming system, but then she could be able to pull up to the desk and work from in that room. And then we also, they had the builder's grade double French doors that went in there. So we took them out and I had some custom doors done, barn doors done.
And those are the things that give that little extra touch. And notice how you stacked. I love how you stacked the shelving instead of just going vertical by giving that step out. It gave that whole space interest. And that's a really good tip. If you are fairly new, you know how we like to fill 2/3 of that space, that, by giving that little movement with your eye and staggering the shelves, it now increases what space you're filling up.
Right. And you also were saying something about the lighting in that room. So I had them have somebody to add those recessed lightings in the ceiling.
Love it.
As well. And then because the house is, I think, north facing, it doesn't get much sun at all in that room. So it was really dreary at first. And then we painted it kind of that soft gray. And then the other wall is like it's a darker gray, but those are both grays. It kind of doesn't show up very well. It actually shows up looking green in the picture, but it's actually gray.
And that's funny because we were just talking about, I don't know if any of you were on that thinking inside the box, decorating in the box. We get so excited about doing our creative stuff that when you're got things in the box, like, awful flooring, no lighting, the wallpaper, all that, you can work all day long and be amazing. And it's still, the box is ugly. Something we're having to overcome is bigger. Because, think about it, walls and floors cover up the majority of the square footage that we're looking at in a space. So I had just commented on adding the recessed lighting. It's not that expensive, guys, to add that. And those are the things you have to present to your clients. They can always say, that's going to be too expensive. And then you get to say, well, have we priced that out? I mean, I know for a fact. Now, Stephanie can say, I know for a fact it's going to cost X. And typically it's under $100 to add a can. And even with the good lighting now. Well, Stephanie, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Great job. You missed what I said about you. I knew you were going to be on and looking good because I had so many pictures to choose from. Okay, so we are going on to our next distinguished style winner in the category of interior decorating and redesign. I'm going to show you the before. Now this you know how we say accessories on parade? I mean, I'm sure this is really probably even expensive art, maybe. I'm not sure. But I have been caught thinking something was not expensive art and it was $1.5 million.
Wow.
It was, okay, so I learned my lesson not to judge art, even when I can see it. But we have this gallery, so to speak, over the mantle.
And a bookcase that looks like it's taken up a good chunk of the room.
This is one of those spaces too. And listen, if any of our clients are on, we love it because, these are good for all of us to learn. We talk about scale and proportion. if you're standing in this room, I can almost guarantee you're going to be leaning away from that bookcase because the room is off balance and it's hard to maintain that scale and proportion with a space like that, with furnishings
Absolutely.
like that. Okay, and then here is our after.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's beautiful, just beautiful. I mean, and I'm going to just go back. I'm going to do but I mean, you almost don't even appreciate that fireplace, that whole accent architectural feature wall until you've introduced this amazing color.
Right.
Look, Dee, she's just passed that color around the room. I love it.
Yep, and all the way up, it even looks like up on the blind area as well, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, it
That
does.
camel color keeps going up and up and up, and it's so simple and it's beautiful.
And I mean, we always think about in staging, how can we make these, sooty looking pits of fireplaces look clean and like they make sense and more of the architectural feature. And this is a beautiful way, even in a decorating situation, to make it feel good. And look, we're walking this color right up. I mean, we're walking this color even here to there. Love it. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
And
going to
it's
show you.
funny because they even reuse the desk chair and ottoman.
And see, you could who on here even recognized that that was the desk chair? Let me go back. Yep, you're right. Look how good it looks in the right
That just
way.
caught my eye and I was like, wow, it looks so dark there, but then it really popped out when in the after picture.
And that is one thing too. I'll say this is one tip I always give my clients, to spray paint the inside of their fireplace with black high heat spray paint, even if they're using it, because it will last probably 2 years. And then if it's gas logs, you just bring them out, mist it again. It just gives a cleaner look. But I mean, it almost looks like whoever won may have had another fresh coat put on that. So, okay, here's the before and after side by side. Ah, amazing. Okay,
Absolutely.
and the winner is
Janet Balzerson from Rusty Fig Redesign LLC. Is Janet on the line?
I am looking right here. I am looking. Do 1 second. It's funny, the names are jumping around, I think, because everybody's coming in. I do not see Janet, but if we're going to be true to how we've started, Janet will hop in when we move on to the next.
Okay. Okay.
Janet, if you are here and you're using a different name, please just raise your hand so I can see. Okay, Dee, I'll let you go on then.
All right, because in here she states that the client wanted to redecorate for a new chapter in his life, and he wanted to incorporate some of this mid-century modern pieces and added a couple of new pieces to make the space more cohesive. Some pieces stayed, and the rug reflected all of the colors in the furnishings, and that's something else that I noticed as well. So it hit once again in all three zones. And once the fireplace was painted, and the mantle was stripped down to the natural wood and clear coated. That must have been interesting to try and do.
Okay, I'm going to go back so we can see. Oh, yeah. Now, see, I mean, you can miss these little details, but that made such a big difference. For it pulls the same color as the sofa.
The sofa, the flooring, and the
Mhm.
blinds.
And we do always remind, our clients when we're there, while we are bringing out our color deck for the floor, those elements, you can't ignore them. And that was a brilliant idea to have that stripped down.
Absolutely.
And,
It's beautiful.
And I do think homeowners are getting more open to painting brick. This one started out painted, so it wasn't probably as hard. But so many times, if you have that brick that has not been touched, it's like you're not necessarily getting it painted, which
I know it's a tough call to try and get them to change once in a while.
Well, Janet, you did an amazing job, and Janet was one of our winners before. Again, I'm just so glad that we had all this participation, and it makes such a difference in what we get to share. Okay, so here is our last winner for our redesign and decorating. And as you can see, guys, almost every one of these winners that we're showing you brought in something new. Redesign, sometimes it's like now they love what you're doing. Oh yeah, I will get a new pillow, even if it's a pillow, but it's some kind of launch. So here is this entries before. I mean, doesn't that ring a bell? And I have to say, I call this the diner look. I feel like I'm in a
Yeah, for
diner.
sure.
And look at the extra detail that we have added on the next row. This is another accent. So this is the before, and here's the after.
Wow.
I
That
know
is such a transition, isn't it?
that
What
is
a transformation.
And okay, so it's almost like I'm gonna just hit a few things, and then I know that this winner is on, but I love just the practicality because I have struggled loving freestanding tubs for myself, because now where am I putting all that? Now I got to bring in a tacky basket and I got to load that, but this is just one of those smart add-ons that your client goes, oh yeah, and it disappears and it's styled beautifully, giving some vertical height with the ladder. But notice this detail of having the lights coming from behind the mirror. And I love it. I love this. This is so, I'm going to go back to the bigger picture. I mean, when you flip back and forth like that, it's almost like overload, visual overload. Okay, here is another angle. And notice the detail, guys, of tiling this whole area. I love it. Okay. And here's the before and after side by side. And the winner is Maureen Shaw. So
All
let me open this up. Here is, let's see, hang on one second. I gotta move this up. All right, Maureen, you are coming up.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, how exciting. Okay, so let's see. I did not know it was going to be this project. And I do remember entering it. So
That's good. That's a good start.
I do. Yes. It's just this project was a long process. So kind of like what you talked about, Sandra, about adding on. I actually started with their kitchen, and they said, oh, it's so much to live through remodel. We're just going to do the kitchen. And then when the kitchen ended, they said, we really want to tackle our master bathroom. And, it was kind of tragic. It was like all the tile was falling off and the pattern was making them dizzy. And so we they love the contemporary look, so we just tiled everything like you pointed out, kind of keep it really clean lines. And that console is actually a TV console, so I don't know if I put that in my notes, but
you did. You mentioned that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because with all the supply chain issues, the cabinets were going to take 3 to 4 months. And like I said, they really just kind of decided on the fly that they wanted to do this, and the contractor didn't have another job lined up. So he said, okay. So they said, well, gosh, what are we going to use to put they wanted a vessel sink. So he pulled this out of their living room and moved it up to their bathroom, and they got their vessel sink on there. And we just, we kind of did things really creatively. Like, we didn't get a slab that we cut. We found something at the remnant shop, and the freestanding bathtub was a massive beast. It was like 400 pounds that the guys had to bring up the stairs. It was very big, but it was, I think, really just, it all came together. I mean, usually you can't do things, without much notice, but we used the TV console, and we got the bathtub in time, and tile, we found in stock tiles, and they just said, let's pull it all together. So I think they were really happy with how it came together.
I would think so.
Absolutely.
Maureen, I love too, because look at the vanity that is now, I mean, that's a true redesign right there. But almost how sterile this bathroom would feel if we did not have that warmth added with the wood and then repeated over on the ladder. And just even this little stool
Mhm.
continues on with that warmth. Tell everybody about the lighting behind the mirror.
So it's one of those backlit mirrors. So it takes it's you need the electrical behind it, and they said, we don't want the sconces, we don't want them on the side. They really like that clean look. So I found a backlit mirror and I think the brand is IB Mirror, if anybody's looking at. I
Mhm.
found it actually online. And then but the thing about this mirror is it takes up such a large space, but didn't look quite right centered over the console. So then what I did is shifted it over by where the sink was, and then they needed a place to hang their little hand towels. So then I just put those on the right hand side just to give some balance to the space, and it worked out really nicely.
Oh, that's great. One thing you can do too, and I agree. Let's see, Miller just said it is hard to believe that was all done for 6,500. Was that how much this was?
That was the materials. Yeah, because the
Yeah.
TV set, not the labor. I don't know what the labor was, but yeah, that was the materials. Because the bathtub was expensive, but not that much. And the console was already theirs. And the quartz, we did remnant fabricated pieces, and the ladder they already owned. So we didn't have to spend too much. It was really just the tile, the bathtub, and their toilet.
And I will say too, because I've done that backlight on the
Yeah.
mirror, but we could not get the mirror that already had it in it done. So we
Oh,
did create it we just built a frame and we did the rope lighting around it, and so it was accessible. Let's say something did go haywire with it. You could still see
yeah.
it, but we built the frame and we did it. That's how you can get around if you can't find it with the supply chain.
Oh, well, that's very impressive. No, this came like that. I didn't have to do anything as creative as you.
No, but you had to come up with an idea. And I have also learned the lesson about the tub. We're so focused sometimes on, does the tub, this new large tub, fit in the space? You forget about the doorways.
Oh, yeah.
I had literally just about a half an inch on the last project. And I was thinking, okay, well, we're going to take the door down. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, if we have to knock the frame off, it's not going to be good. But Maureen, you did an excellent job. This
Thank
looks
you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. It's very exciting.
And one thing, and I don't know that I've mentioned this, but one of the best things about winning a contest like this, it's bragging rights for the rest of your life. And you will use it sometimes. I do use it even in my house when my husband has a crazy idea. I will say national award winner. And now I don't get to enter any. So it's really good that you guys are winning and you can have those bragging rights. Okay, this job, yeah, okay, Miller, you were asking, I'm sorry, about the other winner. This job was 25,000. Okay, we are now moving on to home staging Vacants. And I'm going to make sure I didn't have anything I missed up here. Okay, good. All right. And this is always an interesting category because I don't inventory furniture. So, I mean, not that I haven't done vacant homes, but this really comes down to somebody that knows what they're doing in terms of and having access to some inventory. So, here is the before.
Oh my God.
Pretty darn vacant.
Pretty darn, and an interesting color scheme.
Mhm. I know.
And don't you just love that mirrored wall?
Nothing says Santa needs to go on a diet like a mirrored wall. I mean, we say take out the scales, the dog beds, anything that's gonna, trash cans that's gonna say work. You do not want a mirror, especially when they're right when you're walking in the space. Okay, so here is the before, and here is the after.
Wow.
I know.
I cannot take this all in. I mean, the color is coming from outside in and inside out on all aspects of it. You
I
know?
know. I mean, we all say it, it starts with that inspiration piece and what in that, like we were saying, what the box you have to work with. Let's just go back. You did not have a lot to work with in the box to start with. I can't wait to hear the behind the scenes on this one. But the furniture placement is so beautiful and smart for staging. And I mean, I can't help because remember, we're selling the view, the square footage, architectural details, this whole lifestyle. But look how the outside is brought in and brought in and in, but it's not overdone with adding that texture, that, life. We like to refer to it as beautiful. And the color story repeated with the chairs, the fabrics, the
Yeah,
art.
and the pictures. It all just flows.
It does.
And then they put in a new light fixture over the dining area as well.
Yeah,
So-
and didn't overset the table. And I always love when you go to see a staging and it's like, if I want to write a contract, I got to move 1,600 items out of my way. So this is just enough to say I want to sit down and I want to buy this place.
Yeah.
So here is
sure.
the before and after side by side.
Thank goodness for paint.
Oh my gosh. And a smart stager. And the winner
Is Nikki Latanzi from Staging by Nikki. Congratulations.
Yay!
That is beautiful.
Oh,
Oh, it looks like it's out of Manhattan as well. I thought it might have been down in the, Florida area.
I know it. I mean, it really does feel, but that's the thing with everything having more of that modern feel. You don't know where I mean, that could honestly almost be in Park City, Utah now with some of the houses that we're, building there. We're going flat roofs. I mean, believe it. All right. I mean, Nikki is here and I can't wait
Oh,
to hear.
great.
Yay. Nikki, I have just.
Why? Let him in. He can come now.
Okay, Nikki, can you hear us? Okay, I'm not.
So it's 4:35. You have to.
Nikki,
hear
Just if you brought a nicer shirt, you can put it on. If
Oh,
not,
that's
you
Maureen.
don't have
Let
to,
me-
but you have to. Oops.
Okay, Maureen.
Sorry.
I'm on mute. That's all right. I have Nikki now.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
I think
Hi.
Maureen was
How are you?
choking you there.
So it was in Manhattan Beach, California.
Ah, okay.
Oh, yeah. It's actually very close. It was walking distance to the beach. And this place honestly looked like it was going to be a tear down. As you can see with the lovely furniture, and I look like I weigh about 5,000 pounds in that picture.
Oh,
And you
no.
don't. So
But well, it's just, I'm like, whoa. But yeah, the color, we said, I worked with this realtor several times. In fact, last year I won the award with him again. He'll be so impressed that we won it again this year. So, but the paint color had to go. The carpeting stayed. Kitchen was not remodeled. So we only painted. We kept the old windows. We changed the lighting in there. And then we had it staged. And it was such a transformation with this. And like Sandra, what you were saying about the table, it's like, you know what, less is more. We don't need to have all that clutter on the kitchen table.
I love it. It's funny, Nikki, because I went when, I was popping these in here, I went back and forth going, I'm dying to know about the carpet because I mean, it looks, I'm going to show you guys, it looks like, and then you get over here because everything worked together to elevate the entire space.
Exactly. They really, honestly, it was just paint and light fixtures. And I can't tell you, I tell all my clients, you have no idea. Painting is the biggest thing that you can do. And it's so inexpensive.
We
Right?
say that all the time. And this is also a really good example of that you don't have to put window treatments. I mean, sometimes
Oh,
And this view was what you were selling. I love it.
Right. That's exactly what that's what they were selling, was that view. But you don't, I rarely ever have clients put in window treatments because I like to try to bring in as much natural light as possible. And I think that way with the window treatments, I think it just takes away from the effect in the room.
Right. I mean, I have used them some, but it's usually when I need to frame. I mean, if I've got the space to frame it, but let's face it, if we're staging, we're going to try and keep to those budgets. Okay.
Yeah.
And let me go back and refresh our memory how much you spent on this. $5,500.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Wow.
And they had 12 offers, guys.
I know, isn't that crazy? The way the real estate market is out here is just insane. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know where these people get all their money.
I would like to know too.
Exactly.
I'll three that.
I know. Well, great job, Nikki. That is awesome. And I confused, I want to go back and make sure I clear this up before we get too far. When I asked Maureen Miller's question about the budget, that was for the previous project. So that 25,000 did include all the materials, which they were very minimal, and Maureen. So that was her services. Okay. Good job, Nikki. All right, now we're going on to staging occupied. Okay, here is the before.
Oh, interesting.
I
Well,
mean,
Children live there.
isn't that the truth? I mean, just everything. And this is another one of those examples. The draperies, the window treatments are taking away, and everybody's picture. Okay, I'll let y'all absorb this nice playroom. And then here is the after.
Wow.
I mean, just so much cleaner.
And they left the curtains up. It just looks so
Mhm.
much cleaner.
does.
Is that grass
Grass cloth.
cloth?
Yes.
Okay, so we might as well tell you guys, it's Nikki again.
Yay!
Well, and it was, you know what? They both really stood out, and for different reasons, because, I'm going to go back. Nikki, I think you know what you did here, but the white in these drapes is nice pale color.
Yep.
Again, repeated, and these worked in favor because it lifted the room and it widened the space.
Yes.
So, okay, tell us about this project.
Well, when I first walked into that house, it was the first room that you saw, and the homeowner at first was very apprehensive. Oh my gosh, where am I going to put my kids? And I thought, you're living in a 6,000 square foot house. There's plenty of room to put your kids somewhere else. I said, this is going to be the first thing that buyers see. We have to change it into a formal living room. She finally agreed. We took everything out. We did use her sofa, so we were able to repurpose that. And then I just brought in all the accessories. I brought in the chairs. We kept the curtains, but taking away all of the kids' photos, the books, the rug, the dog's cage, and just getting rid of it and utilizing it with simple neutral tones.
That is great. It is so beautiful. And where is this property located?
It's near Loyola Marymount and near Playa del Rey in California.
Okay.
And Miller, I want to make sure I think you're talking about this room. Yes, this was a staging. It was an occupied staging.
Yes.
It
was quite a challenge to try to keep the kids and the dog out of there. And they had those, if you can see around the arches, there were pocket doors. And I had a nice conversation with the kids. Please keep the doors closed and the dog out to keep this room nice and clean. And they actually did. They listened and it kept clean.
It's so interesting because when you're decorating versus staging, the kids love you because you made their room gorgeous. And I mean, one time I would go places and these kids would hug me because they thought I was just this really nice lady. They came in and made their room look pretty. And then you go and you stage and you're like, okay, all your stuff has to go. And they're like, you know, one day I had this little girl put her hands on her hips, like we're going to have a showdown about moving my toys, but good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you
good.
very much.
Okay, so now we are going to color transformation. And this is, you know, and let me just say this too, guys, for the next couple ones coming up, some of your entries could have gone into 3 categories. And some of you may have said, oh, this is a whatever, a color, and it really fits somewhere else. But so this is a color transformation, and I don't know if I'm saying that for this one or is down the road. But anyway, okay, so here's the before.
Very bottom heavy.
Yeah, and we've got this table that could, you know, seat a lot, and now we've got, you know, it goes back to that scale, those design principles, scale, proportion, balance, you know, that harmony, just all of it works together. So here's the before. And here's the after.
Wow.
Now, this is, I mean, like you, I think Nikki just said it, color in this space alone made a huge difference. And translating that color around. And I love the stacking of 2 plants to give that height that you need, because otherwise it's on the floor and it's taking up square footage. Now it's lifting our eye. And the chandelier makes sense. You know what, Dee? I feel like we're on that show where, you know, they watch a movie and you're like, I know who did this, you know what? Anyway, here's another angle of this space. I love the repeat of the circles, which as
Yes.
we know, curves are so back in. But when our rooms have such linear overloads with, you know, the planks of our flooring and the mullions in the windows and all those things, it's nice to be able to offer something that breaks our eye. And we've got linear lines in the chairs, but we got a curve of the table. So very, very nicely done before and after. And here's my point about this lighting.
Right.
And the winner is Stacy Foster.
Stacy Foster. All right. Good. Congratulations, Stacy.
All right, let me see if Stacy is on here so she can tell us about it. I do not see Stacy. All right, Dee, you got it. And then hopefully Stacy might pop in.
Okay. Well, Stacy Foster is from Style to Suit. She's been in business for 5 years. And as we had seen, you know, the previous dark wainscoting made everything just like sink down super to the floor. And there was no life, you know. But with the new painted wainscoting, and it just lightened and brightened up the room. And they brought in, you know, a glass console and some other arts and a few other accessories from other places. And you can tell that now everything just flows together now. The beautiful flooring, inlaid flooring that they have there, you know, reflects on the glass table and the pictures for sure. And it just keeps your eye going up, even with the new curtains. And they installed curtains on the side of that.
See, that's a good use of panels. I wish Stacy was here so we could brag on her, but they don't go into the window and block your view or cut your light source out. They're stacked out. So that's a good tip. And a lot of times you think you can't go with that straight rod. You're going to have to do something to honor the curve of the window. But this is a perfect example why you don't. And I love, Dee, that this room, this could be a decorating, a staging, or a color. I mean, it could have hit a lot of categories.
It could have for sure. And this was for the color transformation category. Amazing.
Yeah.
I love
Let
it.
me make sure she has not popped on. Okay. We'll check one more time before we get off. Okay. So now we are going to Rising Star. So the thing about the Rising Star that makes this so, first of all, I love when rising stars enter. I mean, I was talking to a girl one day and she goes, I don't know if my work's good enough. Well, you're not going to know unless you enter, because you can't win every year. And so I love it when my rising stars enter the contest. So here is the before. Um, you got, I want to say, just it feels like a normal, I don't want to say spec house kind of thing, but it doesn't feel like there's no wow factor in it. Although the paint color is interesting, but as you can see, it is not necessarily working in the space. And I don't mean that really as a dig. It's just there's no standout moment, and we need some standout moments in our rooms. We don't need. So here is the after. Oh my gosh. I mean, what a difference.
Really?
I love it. Okay, so I'm going to just hit on a few things I love. First of all, as much as I said a minute ago about that paint color wasn't terrible, it had no purpose because it didn't connect with anything. And look how the coordinating of this wall color with the bench, even when we come over here, but we talk about those zones, guys, the function zone where you're going to have the bed, you're going to walk. Then you've got that power zone where you have artwork, you have your views, something to look at. But how many times do people forget that skyline zone? And I absolutely love how this was so vertically and horizontally balanced. So let me show you the side by side. I mean, just an updated, even the lamps feel so good. Okay.
Yeah.
And the winner is Steph.
All right.
Okay. And I think Steph is on here. I'm going to let her talk about her own project.
Oh, good.
Okay. Steph, I am unmuting you. I'm so sorry, y'all.
Can you hear me?
I can. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited. Thank you. Especially
So
since
tell
this
us
is
a little
pretty
bit about
new.
this.
So with this project, the homeowners were having trouble like sleeping. They're kind of having some health issues. It was giving, them anxiety. I mean, the woman who owned the space, she was doing her makeup on the floor, with a small little ring light. And it wasn't a huge budget, but I really needed to make this a space for them to kind of get away from the kids, feel calm. And she's actually said that they haven't had their health issues or anything since then. And the whole vision was for them to feel like they were sleeping on a cloud. So with the really soft bedding and the feather light, which I love, kind of reminded me of a cloud. And just, making the walls lighter. A lot of this stuff was their artwork. But then also using the correct proportions, like their room is very big. They have a very tall ceiling. So getting bigger lamps. And the makeup vanity, we actually found that on Facebook Marketplace and painted that.
Love it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I love what you said too, Steph, about when you're in those client consultations and that client gives you a hint. That's why we like, the power words and some of those other forms that we have. But when that client says, I'd like to feel like I'm sleeping on a cloud, and then Steph brings in something like this, it's like, oh my gosh, she so listens to me. She so gets what I'm trying to do. I think the best compliment is that they're sleeping better.
Oh yeah. That made me feel a lot better too, that now they enjoy their space and they're not anxious. And I just wish I had a better camera in this picture. It was hard to take pictures with the light coming through all the windows.
I know
Mm.
that is a challenge. Tell everybody about this piece.
So that was a hope chest. Pretty much everything in their room was falling apart. Like the tables, the dressers, that hope chest.
See that.
And that is something that he actually got her when they first started dating. So he really was kind of hesitant to throw it away because it meant so much. So I don't think I have a picture on here that I sent, but I ended up taking the front piece off. If you can see the little designs, like a floral design.
Right.
And I actually turned it into a necklace holder on the wall. So it was kind of like the frame around the flowers. I painted blue to match their room. and then put like cup hooks, and that's what we hung her necklaces on. And he was like kind of speechless when he came in because it meant so
Aw.
much to him.
That's a great idea.
It is.
Okay, so now here is your task. You need to have a picture of that, and this, you can just grab this and post that on the DSA so everybody can see that, because when I was reading, I thought, oh my gosh, that is so creative. I wanted to see it.
I know. It's great to repurpose things, the desks, the hope chests. That's amazing.
It really is. Do you know what paint color you used, Steph? Do you remember?
I'm trying to, it was similar to rain washed. It was one of those colors. I'm trying to remember which one it was, but I can't off the top of my head.
There's one that's Krypton. I think it's on that same strip. It's so pretty too to me.
Mm,
Well, good job. And I love the way the whole thing is honoring everything. So,
Thank you so much.
so now Steph won't get to be a rising star next year. She'll have to go into
Yeah.
okay, so now we're to star teams. Thank you, Steph. That was great. Okay, let me make sure I don't have any other questions before I go on to the next person. Yes, do you need? Okay, Miller, do you want to see the before and after? Miller wants to see the before and after one more time. There you go. Okay.
I love that light fixture. That
I
is so cool.
Was that pricey, Steph?
Actually, I want to say it was like $80, like the whole entire project, new bedding, that new storage, like ottoman, everything was like $600 or $700.
That's incredible. That's like, who is not gonna call you for the next room when you've only spent $700 and they're sleeping better?
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna have to put doctor in front of your name. Okay, so now last but not least, we're going to the star teams. Okay, here is our
Right.
before.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love it.
Traditional type of curtains and
Mhm.
empty.
And empty.
And
And
empty.
this is a perfect example, guys, when you suggest let's take down these curtains, because if you want to, oh, but I spent a fortune on them. And they did. I mean, when they were, and I did hear that this is kind of coming back a little bit, but here's the after.
Wow. That's
Wow.
amazing. Wow. They had a coffered ceiling that you never noticed
Mhm.
and beautiful light fixture. Oh my God, that is such a transformation.
It is. I'm gonna go right back because you made that great point before. You didn't even notice this. And
No, I didn't.
that is so pretty. And again, such a cohesive color story in this
Mhm.
space. Here's
Absolutely.
just to bring you back to before and after land.
Oh my Lord. No one would ever have recognized the same room.
Exactly. And the winner is, the star team
Oh.
winner is,
Is Debbie Morrow and Diana Worthman
okay.
from Transformed Interiors. Congratulations.
Oh,
Are the ladies on?
I think they are. I'm gonna coming right over here to the, I've got Diana. I'm gonna open you up and then I'm gonna see if Debbie is here. And Diana, you are opened. And I do not see Debbie. Diana, can you hear us?
Yes, sorry,
Okay.
I couldn't figure out how to unmute.
That's all right. Is Debbie on under a name I may not recognize?
She is not. She cannot be here tonight. She had she lost her dad a couple of days ago, so she could not be on here tonight.
I'm
I'm
so
so
sorry.
sorry.
So yes, this was a fun project. That dining room was like circa like 1997. I know that you were talking about the paint color Krypton, and on that same strip is the paint color Sherwin-Williams Let It Rain, and the walls are painted Let It Rain. And yes, we took down those draperies. They are awful.
Yes, I know.
Awful.
And you know how much dust is in them
Oh,
when they went in up.
yeah. So yes, we had a complete blank slate to work with. There is actually on the right-hand side, there's a little, it's a little old-fashioned china cabinet. You can kind of barely see a picture of it. That's something that was it belonged to my client's parents. And so she, she inherited, and we wanted to use it in the design. So there were, the elements of the slightly rustic table and the slightly rustic buffet were to tie in with that little china cabinet that she had. But then everything else was, completely new, custom upholstered chairs, brand new table, the lamps, the chandelier. I actually hung the crystals on the chandelier myself because I can't seem to find an electrician who will dress a crystal chandelier. And I love, love, love crystal chandeliers. It was a fun project. The carpet stayed the same. I have a thing about tray ceilings. That little lip below the crown, if you paint it the wall color, really makes the ceiling pop. I call it a Diana-ism. Because yes, when they're all painted white, all that beautiful crown molding, we didn't do any trim in this house, and it just disappeared with those horrible beige walls and the white ceiling. So that was kind of just a way to add a little bit of design, add a little bit of character, and make the ceiling is stunning, but you just don't see it. You just kind of miss it. So it's like adding that little bit of paint color around there just gives it a little bit more lift. And yes, I'm all about the bringing the eye up, and yes, that you talked about, Sandra, you talked about that ceiling zone, and oh my gosh, yes, I get it. The ceilings are 9 feet in this house, and that additional 6 inches, which makes it, 9 foot 6 inches, it just gives a little bit of lift and just makes the space feel a little bit more impressive, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
And this is such a good example too, Diana, of mixing styles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you were talking about, even having the paint colors on that strip. That's almost how this cabinet over here that you're, honoring the client. I mean, this could have been on the same strip. This would have been the deeper value.
Mm-hmm.
This could have been,
Yes.
guys, look how she also followed through with the theme a little bit. We have a little bling feeling,
Yep.
the
Glam.
lamps,
Yeah.
and even with her artwork.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
great.
I love to sprinkle glitter everywhere if I could.
I have to tell you, I had to use a homeowner chandelier, and it was okay, but I did try at Hobby Lobby. Have you seen the magnetic crystals?
Yes. Yeah.
I did use them, and I put them where you couldn't tell that they were that little piece that was the
Yes.
magnet.
Yes.
I mean, it really did, because it was high enough up you could not really study it.
Mm-hmm.
And it really did serve the purpose that we needed to accomplish. Well, congratulations. Please tell Debbie we are sorry she is not here to accept her award.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. And as promised, we were going to give you a few tips on how to get noticed. Hello. First of all, enter contest so that you can have these bragging rights and you can display that and take full advantage. And the girls will, all the winners will have press releases within the next 2 weeks that they can post. Spread the word about what you do and how clients love you. I mean, like even tonight, honoring what a client had, Diana just did, or helping a homeowner sleep. So those are the kind of quotes you really want to be able to capture. Use your social media, any local outlet that you have, that even charity events, national and local press opportunities, PR Web. They've gone up. It costs about $60 now when it used to cost 10. But cross promoting, like people can go together and put out press releases of something you might have done. Join the directory right now. Anybody on this phone call, you can go enter your information if you're not there already, and you do not have to pay the $99 and fill out your form. It'll say click here to pay $99, and then there's the form. Just fill out the form and send it to me. And it looks, you can put a picture, you can put a bio, your social media links, really socially, SEO important. If you link back and we link to you, because if you're on our site, we're obviously linking. And then if you link to the DSA, then it just helps build you up. Other thing is, don't forget, hopefully our pictures or our photos are not there. On House, we're all on House. You can go and add the DSA logo to your site. You're all welcome to do that. It looks like, I gotta move myself over right here. And it is an option. House has recognized us, and you can put that as an affiliation. Hold your own contest. It can be anything that you're allowed to vote on. It's like the, Throwback Thursday, everybody got a little overkill, so some of that. But just pick something else. I'm doing this or that right now, but so people are voting. It's engaging. Having, redesign contest, color transformation. And you be sure and enter everything that you can. But I think it would be good if you just take a minute and see how many users you have. And then after you've done some of these little tips, what happens to your users? How many more do you have to your site? Again, this just gives you a way to, some tips about how to get more fans. And your fans usually turn into promoters. And the contest is one. You have to sometimes offer something. Make it worthwhile. Don't make it something nobody needs or want. But just in getting your fans or your anybody that is part of your friend group to be engaged, gets them connected emotionally to you. So just throwing out that tip for you. Speaking, I have to say, the first couple of times I wanted to throw up, but just put yourself out there, especially if you're new. I can guarantee you know more than who you're speaking to. So it's a great way to get noticed and connect with us, guys. I mean, even connect with some of your competitors. I had a great working relationship with a lot of my competitors, and we worked together to accomplish some things. And that cross market coming together, I think there were like 20 of us, and we came together and did work for the American Cancer Society and did about, I think we did 10 rooms. And it was such a great, worthwhile thing to do. So be sure and connect with us. And we are so glad that you joined us. And we really did nail the time, Dee. I appreciate you. Let me make sure we don't have any other. Oh, you guys are so welcome. Yes, Miller, she told you about the windows, took down those drapes. And I have taken down the top treatment and left the panels if it made sense. Excuse me, guys, I'm so sorry. So if you have any more questions, now is your time to send them to Dee and me. And Dee, I appreciate you joining me tonight. This was fun to do together. And
Absolutely. I enjoyed it. Thank you for letting me come in on this nice occasion. I really enjoy, when we have our contests and do the winners.
I know it's fun. And guys, we've got a lot of other certification classes that are very low price point, economical price point, to earn you a whole nother certification, like bookcases and seasonal decorating. And you guys are so welcome, and congratulations to all the winners.
Absolutely. Congratulations, everybody.
All right, have a great night, and we will see you next Tuesday. And at the same time, I don't know why the Zoom kicked it to midnight. I don't know if anybody was on it waiting for us.
Hope not. All right.
All right, thank you guys.
Bye, everybody. Have a great evening.
Thank you.